Hello friends, this is Emma. I am one of the chosen people who are doomed to have bad in-laws. However, thankfully I am not a pushover. So I was able to tackle my mother-in-law and reveal her true face to everyone. My now husband, Stephen, was actually my classmate back in school. While we never dated in school, we grew very close in college. We were pursuing the same degree in the same college and naturally, we stuck together. It's not like my crush on him was pretty sudden. I did like him back in school. However, I had heard stories about his mother which gave me nightmares. Young me was easily intimidated and didn't want to deal with his mother, so I never made my feelings known. Even back in college, Stephen's mum, Carol, was actively breaking up his relationships. Back then, I had no idea why she was so hell-bent on keeping him single. I have seen his girlfriend barely last for a month, after which they took off screaming. The stories they told were equally terrifying. From threatening them to getting them into trouble, Carol had done it all. Stephen literally stopped dating her in his final year because he knew his mum would find a way to ruin it. My fear of Stephen's mother was kind of forgotten when we went to college. Being his close friends, I got to know him much better and instantly fell in love. He was and is truly the most amazing man you will ever meet. One of the reasons why I decided to give it a chance was because Stephen himself shared stories about his mum. He said,
"I know you have heard and seen some messed up shit about my relationships back in school. You know I really feel sorry for whoever I dated. My mum was so vicious, they didn't stand a chance. I hope they are not scarred for life."
Oh, trust me, Stephen, the stories that went around were all sorts of ridiculous. I mean, I know many of them were true, but I think they were exaggerated.
Look, I think I warn you about this. Unfortunately, none of the stories were exaggerated. You try to see good in everyone, so you think people can't be that cruel. My mum is just unique in that way.
Why was she so obsessed with ruining your relationships? I just don't understand.
My mum is very possessive and controlling. She has been this way all her life. Mum has also embarrassed my dad many times with her jealousy. He loves her so much that he can't see how deluded she has become. Part of the reason I moved this far was because I wanted to get away from her.
Oh my God, it kind of sounds like she needs help. This is not okay. Your father should start taking things seriously. I mean, it is already mentally affecting you.
I know, and I'm trying to stay away from them. I don't know how long I can keep this up, but hopefully Mum will learn to let go of me. I don't want to feel suffocated again. Besides, I even have some issues from the way she messed up my love life. I'm trying hard to get better.
Guys, hearing his emotional turmoil made my heart shatter. By then, it was clear to me that Carol cared about no one. She was selfish and a narcissist. It didn't help that Stephen's dad, Jacob, always enabled her. Little by little, I forgot all my reservations about Stephen and gave in to his love. By the end of our second year, we started to date. To be honest, I was pretty skeptical about the future, but I took it one step at a time. After we graduated from college, me and Stephen both got hired by his dad's company. While Stephen always knew he would join his dad, I was an exception. Jacob was impressed by my grades and portfolio, so he offered me a position at the company. That's how I met him the first time. However, Stephen and I were pretty anxious about meeting Carol. We knew she would try and mess up our relationship, so we waited for another year and only told her when we got engaged. When Stephen informed Carol about the engagement, she was shocked, yet polite to him. She asked us over for dinner so that she could meet us properly. Well, I later learned that she only wanted to start trouble. As soon as she saw me, she said,
"Stephen, this is the woman you have been dating. She is a 4 at best. Do you think she can match up with our prestigious family?"
Mom, stop! What is wrong with you? You're being mean. I love Emma, and I think she is the most beautiful person I have ever met.
You always had a bad taste in women, but I'm surprised you went so low. I heard her parents are divorced and not on speaking terms with her. How can you think of starting a family with someone like this?
My parents divorced amicably. Besides, that is none of your business. They are also very much in contact with me. There is no bad blood among us.
Oh, please, girl, don't tell me stories. I know you're kind. You're with my son for his money. I don't know how you have charmed my son, but I will take him out of your grasp. Now that I have seen what a disappointment you are not welcome any more. Leave my house!" She legit kicked me out without going through the dinner. Stephen and I were shocked by the level of rudeness she showed us. We went back to our house, and I immediately broke down in tears. Carol had humiliated me for no reason. Stephen was beside himself trying to comfort me. He said, "I'm so sorry, Emma. I should have seen this coming. I'm so stupid. You were insulted because of me. Please forgive me." "It's not your fault, but I think I won't be able to keep in contact with Carol. The way she acted today was over the top. I need to see some repentance and change in her before I try to have a relationship with her."
I understand that, Emma. Trust me, I don't want to be around her either. From now on, you don't have to be in her presence. I will protect you. I won't let her humiliate you again.
Stephen was true to his words. He did shield me from Carol throughout the wedding planning. Jacob was against us cutting contact, but he didn't push the issue. Deep down, even he knew she had crossed limits. Carol, on the other hand, took it as a great offense. She turned her sights on me and did everything to mess up the wedding. She even called up relatives and told them stories about how horrible I am. Oscar, Jacob's brother, also joined in with Carol. Even without meeting me, he spread nasty rumors about me. Some of these relatives actually didn't show up to our wedding. Oscar and Carol also tried to ruin all the bookings we made. Things got so bad that we had to put passwords on our vendors. We had to constantly check in with our vendors to make sure they are following our orders correctly. I was contemplating uninviting Carol and Oscar from our wedding. However, I didn't want Stephen to feel bad about it later. So despite everything, they got front row seats to our wedding. Thankfully, I had told the minister to skip the objections part so that Carol doesn't get to make any nasty moves. After the wedding was over, we went back to being in low contact with Carol. Jacob was advocating for his wife and wanted us to get along. The fact that he was our boss also forced us to interact with Carol to some extent. However, Carol was never cordial towards me. She insulted me every chance I got and tried to pressure Stephen to annul the marriage. She calmed down a bit after Stephen himself snapped at her and told her to stay away. After that, things were calm for a long time. Just a month before our first anniversary, I was lucky enough to stumble upon Carol's actual plan. You see, I was visiting Jacob to send him some documents from the office. However, he wasn't home. What I found instead shocked me to my core. Oscar and Carol were extremely touchy-feely with each other. Their backs were turned to them so they couldn't see me. They were saying, "Just a few more days. After that, Emma will be gone for good. She thinks she is better than me. She is nothing but a frickin' lowlife. I don't know how she managed to keep my son charmed."
Don't worry, Carol. She'll be gone soon. We made a pretty foolproof plan. By now they must be out of the honeymoon phase, so you were so smart to suggest we tell Stephen that Emma was cheating on him.
I know, right? I mean, Emma is good for nothing. I doubt she will get anyone else once Stephen divorces her. She is not like me, who can get 2 men at once.
You are special, Carol. No one can match up to you. Why do you think I can't get enough of you? You are the reason why I agreed to edit those pictures from the bar and make Emma look like a cheater. They are already installed on your laptop.
You are such a sweetheart. Just a few more days and I will ruin her reputation in front of everyone. She will have a great time at her anniversary party. Can't wait to have my son back in my control.
That was all I heard before I quietly made my exit. My mind was spinning, and I didn't know what to do. I was pretty curious about the pictures they were talking about. So, I went to Jacob's office and found Carol's laptop. I was supposed to be here, so I knew no one would suspect anything. I quickly opened the laptop and found the pictures they were talking about. I decided to snoop a little and find out more. That's when I found some pictures that I could use against them. I quickly planned something in my head and downloaded some pictures from the laptop. Then I exited the house and went home. When I was home, I was seething with rage that Carol would stoop so low to ruin my marriage and reputation. However, I knew how I would answer her accusations. Plus, now, I have some lethal ammo against both Carol and Oscar.
It was time to get some tit for tat, especially for those two. The day of the anniversary party came, and I kept quiet about what Carol was planning. No one knew about what I knew. With the party in full swing, we were having a great time. Even Stephen was super happy and enjoying himself. Just before we were about to cut the cake, I saw Carol walk up to the cousin who was in charge of the white screen showing pictures. She handed him a pen drive and left. She didn't know that earlier on, I had also slipped him a pen drive of my own. Suddenly, I saw that Carol was walking up to me. She looked at me and smirked. She kind of whispered to me and said, "It's time I teach you a nice lesson. It'll be a fun day today. Just wait and watch what I do to you." Oh, trust me, Carol. I am pretty excited about your speech. I really do hope this becomes a fun day. Carol gave me a nasty glare and walked back toward the white screen. She stood in front of it and told the cousin to start the slideshow. She then said, "Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here for my son. As you all know, today is his first anniversary with Emma. I can see that the couple has already received a lot of blessings. Well, sadly, I can't be happy for them. I'm sorry, I did try, but I just can't." "Mum, what the hell? What are you saying? You need to stop right there." "No, son, don't stop me today. You love Emma so much that you have turned a blind eye to everything. I am tired of seeing her use you and play with your feelings." "Yes, Stephen, let your mother speak. Only we know you married a snake. She had been silent for so long because she didn't want to hurt you, but today she will tell everyone how much of a witch your wife is." "Don't stop them, Stephen. I would love to hear why they think so highly of me. If I'm really at fault, I have no problem apologizing to everyone and mending my mistakes." "I know you're trying to paint yourself a victim, Emma, but today that won't happen. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so sorry to tell you that my son is married and an adulteress. Yes, this gold digger is cheating on my son!" The crowd gasped, and everyone started to look very confused. I also caught a few of them sending me nasty glares. Even Jacob looked at me like I was trash. However, Stephen just looked shocked and stared at his mum. He said, "Mum, what is wrong with you? Why would you say such a thing? You are intentionally ruining Emma's reputation." "Oh my God, son, please don't be so naive. I'm not lying to you and the people here. In fact, I have brought proof of her cheating as well. I knew you wouldn't believe me, so Oscar and I gathered some evidence and brought it today. Take a look at these pictures." Carol signaled the cousin to show the pictures on the screen. The white screen came to life, and there stood my shame on the screen. There were various pictures of me with a man. We were in different bars and were seen drinking at the counter. Everyone became even more confused. Jacob said, "My God, Emma, I always thought you were a nice girl. I never imagined you would turn out to be such an adulteress. My poor son made a mistake marrying you." "I warned everyone before that this girl is a snake and a gold digger. Back then no one listened to me. Now my poor son will pay the price. How could you do this, Emma?" "Well, I have a good answer to that. If you just let me speak, I can clear things out." "How dare you even try to defend yourself? It's clear you've been cheating on Stephen. Everyone, just look at the audacity of this shameless woman." "Everyone, since my dear mother-in-law has turned this into a public spectacle, I have to defend myself. Trust me, I didn't want to do this publicly, but they have left me no choice." I signaled the cousin to show everyone the pictures I gave him. I turned to the people gathered and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, you all saw how beautifully Carol displayed my so-called affair. You should also wonder why Stephen and my friends are silent. Well, that's because they know what a bunch of bullshit this is." "How dare you say that? Are you insisting that I'm playing games with everyone?" "Yes, I am, Carol, because that is exactly what you are doing. People, why don't you take a look at the real pictures from which these have been edited out? As you can see, I was actually hanging out with a bunch of my friends. The man you see is an old friend of mine who flew down from Los Angeles for a mini reunion. In the full picture, the woman on this other side is actually his wife." "Wait a minute, Emma!" "Carol, what the hell is this? Did you edit these pictures on purpose?" "Of course not, Jacob. She is lying. She's only trying to protect herself. I know she slept with him. Just look at her being all close and touchy with him." Yes, I was there too. I saw what they were doing. She's clearly trying to protect herself now. She was actually really chummy with her affair partner. That's because he is my childhood friend. I have known him all my life, and so has Stephen. Why do you think Stephen is not jumping up and cursing me out? Besides, some of the other people in the picture are actually present. Why don't you ask them what happened? That's when my friends spoke up. They were quick to defend me and clear all of her lies. They were also pretty offended at being photographed without consent. Stephen just held his head in his hand and sat there looking at the ground. I felt sorry for him. Carol didn't just humiliate me. She also humiliated him again and brought back his trauma. Slowly, it became clear to everyone that Carol and Oscar were lying. Everyone started to loudly criticize them for being so cruel to me. They couldn't believe she could stoop so low. Even Jacob looked pissed and directed his anger toward them. Carol and Oscar said, No, guys, listen, we are not lying. I saw her kiss the man with my own eyes. Yeah, she sneaked away with him later. I bet she slept with him and didn't come back home. Now, you two. There's no reason to project your own lives on me. I know you have all the experience of cheating on your spouses, but I am no pro. What do you mean? Well, ladies and gentlemen, since we have all gathered here and already witnessed a spectacle, I have something else to show you. If you are wondering why these two are so interested in topics of cheating, you will find the answer soon. Why don't you take a look at these pictures I found? With that, I signaled the cousin to show everyone the rest of the pictures. They were all of Carol and Oscar having a full-blown affair. These were the pictures I found on their phones when I came across my pictures. Now the entire crowd of people completely turned on them. Jacob was horrified and enraged. He said, Carol, Oscar, what the hell is this? You two have been having an affair. How long have you been together? How could you do this to me? Jacob, please listen to me. I can explain. It's not what it looks like. Please hear me out. Yes, Jacob, listen, this is all Emma's doing. I'm sure these pictures are edited. If these pictures are edited, why don't you call a professional to judge its authenticity? Besides, as graphic as these pictures are, there are some more from the home security cameras which I'm sure Jacob will find once he checks them. Mom! How could you do this to us? First you insult my wife and try to ruin my marriage. Then you freaking cheat on my dad with my uncle. What is wrong with you? Why did you destroy us like this? No, please listen to me. Let me explain. That's enough. There's no need to say anything else. I'll go back and check the security footage. If I find out it's all true, you can expect the divorce papers within a week, and you, Oscar, will be fired from the company. Oscar and Carol started to beg Jacob to forgive them. They made all sorts of excuses and explanations that were downright ridiculous. In the end, Stephen called security and kicked them out. Jacob also left, but not before sincerely apologizing to me and then thanking me for showing him the truth. He looked pretty broken, but it was time he finally stood up for himself. We were tired and decided to cut the party short. I am sure no one complained. In the aftermath of the fiasco, Carol and Oscar got what they deserved. Jacob went home and checked the security footage. I won't go into detail about what he found because it was pretty graphic. Whatever he found made him instantly tell his lawyer to prepare divorce papers. They had a prenup signed, so Carol wrote to be getting a cent from his fortune. Oscar also lost his job and became unemployed. Everyone at the company knew about his dirty deeds, and all his friends cut him off. Carol also lost the little friends she had. At home, Jacob and Stephen had a heart-to-heart about their experiences with Carol. The two made up, and Jacob finally understood that he should have protected himself and Stephen way sooner. Carol was turned out of the house, and she didn't even try to complain. Jacob had a lot of power, so she knew going against him would be useless. Me and Stephen talked about what happened, and I apologized to both him and Jacob for airing their dirty laundry in public. They understood why I did it and didn't mind at all. Jacob and Carol's divorce is still underway, but things will be wrapped up soon. Neither the father nor the son are currently speaking to her. Stephen is adamant he never wants to talk to his mother again. Suffice it to say, I was glad about his decision. I encouraged him to join therapy to help deal with his issues with Carol. He has made progress, so that makes me happy. In the end, I would just like to say, even if you ever come across a mother-in-law like mine, remember to stand up for yourself and expose her if you can.